Allah Alhaina Yahweh Bashim Hawashai Hamashiach Wamalaki Bashim Hawak Kakudash Rakatham, the water by Baba Kwam Yashra. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone teachers daily. To the men out there teaching the likewise doctrine of city Shalom. Today we're gonna get into this video where a lot of truth has come out about the moon landing and how it was fake. Now we knew this for years. We told y'all this for years. But y'all still didn't believe. Y'all still think Esau is just the man, right? Now, I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. We don't have to know politics or statistics to know a lie when we hear one. First of all, because scientifically it's impossible. Yeah, they can send equipment up there, satellites, all this other shit, but they cannot send nothing living, of living tissue cannot pass the Van Allen belt because of extreme radiation. The atmosphere protects us from this radiation. Well, if you go past that Van Allen belt, if you get past, you will die. So Edom has not left this planet. Edom is not going anywhere. The Lord is not going to let this man go and destroy other planets like he destroyed this one. He is not going to allow Esau to escape his judgment by going to other planets. You're going to stay your ass right here, and you're going to get your judgment, which is 1,000 years of hardcore slavery and then extermination. It is written. Now, I want to get a scripture before I get into this video real quick. This is Luke, chapter 8, verse 17. This is the red letter, so this is Yahweh speaking. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. And let's get Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. He hides himself behind all these lies he put out and all this Hollywood magic that's got y'all thinking that this man really been in outer space. Let me finish the scripture. His seed is spoiled and his brother and his neighbor, and he's not, because he's the one doing the spoiling. Spoil means to rob. Now, yeah, all this Hollywood magic y'all wrapped up in, and I say this all the time. If Esau can make a movie like Star Wars, Star Trek, all these other outer space movies, what makes you think he can't fake fake the moon landing? Now let's go ahead and get into this video real quick. All right, check this out. It says, breaking news, NASA plans to build houses on the moon by 2040. How they gonna build houses on the moon when they never been to the moon? Now you see how naked the so-called moon is? Where is the atmosphere to protect you from this dangerous radiation from the sun? It's not there. So how you think a man gonna survive on the moon with all that radiation? It says, LOL, the things are simple, people will actually believe in this nonsense. And I agree. Let's read it. Jordan, you're so cute. Hold on, y'all. This ain't the video. Hold on one second. Okay, I found the video, y'all. Let's go and get into it real quick. Let me pull it up. Now it says, were the moon landings fake? Let's see what Buddy got to say. Let me run it back.
Okay, you asked for it, you got it. Here are my reasons why I doubt we ever landed on the moon. Not saying we didn't land on the moon, I'm just saying here's why I doubt it. The U.S. is the only country in the world to successfully send men to the moon, and we did it 6 times. No other country in the world has ever done it. Winning the space race was huge for the United States in the middle of the mid 1960s because we were in a Cold War, we were in a very unpopular Vietnam War. The Russians were way ahead of us in the space race. They had the first successful space mission, the first monkey in space, the first man in space, the first satellite in space. We needed a win. Why haven't we gone back? Because we destroyed the technology, of course. Don't believe me? Check this out.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore.
What?
How do you not have the technology to do that anymore? What did you do with the technology, Esau? You see how these lies don't make sense at all. Now you're gonna catch them in a lot of lies. And it says right here, let's get Psalms 58, verse 3. Chapter 58, verse 3. So I can, the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they get born, speaking lies. Now check this out. This is James chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's why Esau's lies be all over the place. He be freestyling lies as he goes. And he doesn't remember his lies. That's the thing about lies. You have to remember every lie you told. The truth, you don't have to remember nothing because the truth is the truth. Let's go.
Because we don't have the technology to do that anymore.
What happened?
We used to, but we destroyed that technology.
We destroyed it.
It's a painful process.
Why would you destroy the technology if you so in a hurry to get to the moon before the other nations? See how his lies be all over the place and don't make sense? That's because lies are not supposed to make sense. Let's go.
No one's ever been past the Van Allen radiation belts. Don't believe me? Check this out.
As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. Radiation like this can harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
You have to admit, the lunar lander looks comical, like a beach tent with some HVAC parts attached to it. Here's Neil Armstrong making fun of it.
You know, there's an old saying in aviation that if it looks good, it flies good. And this has to be the exception to the rule because it flew very well, but it is probably the ugliest flying machine that was ever been designed.
On a couple of the Apollo missions, they actually filmed the lunar lander taking off from the moon. They had a tripod, they had a camera, and the camera would zoom in and turn as it flew away, controlled by somebody over 200,000 miles away in Texas. That's pretty cool, huh? Look at this. The tripod zooms back, follows it up into the sky. Pretty amazing. Cameras only had film back then, so let's just say that you could control it from Texas. How'd they get the film? Here's a weird one. Supposedly on the moon, there's no atmosphere, there's no...
He made a good point right there. I just listened to it and it all makes sense. He said that there was this robot on the ground of the so-called moon, right? And they showed the spacecraft taking off, right? So they left. How did they get the film from the camera that was still on the so-called moon? If they left the moon, so-called. You see? First Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. Oh, Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust. Meaning, you know what is facts. You know the facts that are known to be facts, right? And science means to know. Avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called. Esau freestyle a line a minute and call it science without proof. And y'all wholeheartedly believe this man without proof. Let's go.
Wind, no breeze, no air. Look at that flag just blowing in the wind. He can barely control it, it's blowing so much, just waving and waving. Why? Here's a video of one of the Apollo rockets taking off from Earth. Look at the massive explosion, fire, and energy it takes to get that thing off the ground. Watch this. Unbelievable power. Look at that. Massive fire explosion. destroys everything in its path pretty much. Unbelievable. You would expect the lunar lander taking off from the moon would have equal power, or at least half the power of that massive explosion, but instead there's a couple of sparks, a little bit of breeze. Watch this video how they put the American flag up by tapping a pole down into the sand, and then they film the takeoff, and the takeoff power doesn't even blow the flag over. Watch him tapping that pole into the rock of the moon. It just tap, 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 little tap, 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 even left-handed. It just sinks down into the rock. Now watch this takeoff. The massive power. Oh, it doesn't even blow the flag over. Here it is in slow motion. Didn't require that much power. Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon. You would think that would be a big deal, and they would be equipped with all kind of photos. You know how many photos of Neil Armstrong there are on the moon? 2. Greatest accomplishment in history. 2 photos of him on the moon. And watch this interview. Any interview he ever had, he was extremely awkward and tried to tell us the truth.
That July morning in 1969, when you came out and you gave that thumbs up, I mean, that was a very confident view you put on.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a sham, I admit.
A sham?
We were confident in the equipment and
He said it was a bit of a sham. Let's see if I can get a scripture. Psalm chapter 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. They telling on each other. All that see them shall flee away. You know why? Because nobody want to deal with a liar.
our own readiness to go, but you know, the reality is a lot of times you get up there, get in the cockpit, and something goes wrong somewhere, and you go back down.
This is another funny one. Nixon's phone call to the moon. Okay, yeah, he didn't phone call landline to the moon. He called Houston, Texas, and was tied into a radio that was communicating with the moon. But radio communications requires massive antennas on both sides. Where was the massive antenna on the moon on the lunar module? That phone call took place June 20th, 1969 at 11:49 Eastern Time. So Universal Time, this is the time it would be. Let's see where the moon is in relation to the Earth, if that radio call was even possible. So it would have to be from the United States to the moon, a direct shot, so nothing was in the way, not the curve of the Earth. But as you see in this video, the moon is behind the curve of the Earth from where they made that call in Washington, D.C. and Houston, Texas. Follow me on this one. They say we weigh 1/6 what we weigh on Earth on the moon. So if I weighed 180 pounds and I've got a 180-pound spacesuit on, that's 360 pounds divided by 6 is 60 pounds. So if these spacemen in their suits were 60 pounds, like a 60-pound kid walking around, why would they look like this? I'm going to show you in slow motion the way NASA gave it to us, and then I'm going to show you in normal speed. Look how comical this is. Here it is in slow motion as NASA gave it to us, kind of floaty. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I wish I could be up there on the moon and bounce around like them. Look at them just practically floating. How many 60-pound kids on Earth walk around like that? I would say 0. 60 pounds is 60 pounds. You can almost see the harnesses holding them up and how they're having trouble walking with it and just stumbling.
Harnesses. You see how Esau is such a master liar? You see how above and beyond he goes to convince you of his lies? Now, Esau, if you put this much energy into building the kingdom as you put into trying to convince people of your lies, you gonna be the man, bro. You gonna be the man. I mean, kings gonna be wanting you to design their palaces if you put that much energy into construction as you put into your lies. Oh, you gonna be the man. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. See, first this was glorious, and then the Lord pulled the covering off. Now it's shameful to you. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16, thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. See, the other nations looking up to the United States because of all these lies, all these films, all this footage, quote unquote. But now that the truth is being revealed, now people looking at the United States like, man, what do y'all not lie about? See what I'm saying?
Over. Now look at it in normal speed and you'll see that it makes a little more sense. They're just running through the desert, it looks like. Not real floaty or nothing. They're just jumping up and down and look pretty normal to me. Now the falls looks like a harness. It's like a harness to me. Like they're holding them up and they're having trouble with it. Comical. 24 men have gone to the moon. 12 have actually walked on the moon. Yet not one of them, with all the footage, all the video, all the pictures, not one of them thought to look straight up at Earth and show the video or the picture of Earth directly overhead, because we on Earth see the same side of the moon all the time. So Earth would be directly overhead from the moon all the time. Not one of them thought to turn the camera up and look at Earth. Pretty crazy, right? Not one of them caught pictures of the stars. They could tune the adjustments on the camera to see stars, but there's not one star ever shot from the moon with their footage.
Wow. Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Physician mean doctor. Doctor mean to falsify. Job chapter 15, verse 34. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. Hypocrites. How are they hypocritical? In the first video, I showed you that they claim they plan on building homes on the moon by 2040. How can you build homes on the moon when you haven't been there? See what I'm saying? Job chapter 15, verse 6. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and I not. Yet thine own lips testify against thee. This is Egyptian against Egyptian, Edomite versus Edomite. Let's get it again. Psalm chapter 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Who wants to have dealings with a liar? Nobody. That's why these other nations are pulling away from the USA, United Sodomites of America. Let's go.
This is the famous Earthrise shot from one of the Apollo flyby missions taken from the capsule itself on flyby. Very impressive, very nostalgic, unbelievable. Recently, Artemis Project sent Orion up to the moon to get beautiful shots of Earth. Comparative to this, it's like, okay, wow, we're going to get so much better because we're so further along with technology. Here's the shot of Earth from Orion just a few months ago. There it is. There it is. What? And if that wasn't enough, here's one that has stumped me. There are 3 lunar rover vehicles left on the moon, and there are 6 sets of legs from the lunar module takeoff. They left the set of legs on the moon. 6 sets of legs, 3 lunar rovers on the moon. All of our powerful telescopes on Earth, not one of them can get a shot of that stuff. We can see other galaxies from Earth with our powerful telescopes, yet not one telescope can see the stuff that was left over on the moon.
Because they hadn't been there. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 12. If a ruler hearkens to lies, all his servants are wicked. Now, you notice that he said that the president made a phone call to the moon, quote unquote, which did not happen because he proved it scientifically that it was scientifically impossible, especially back in that day with their technology being so limited. So the president in on all these lies. So is everybody else. All his servants are wicked. Wow. Okay, we come out of this. Point has been made. Yeah, that's why the other nations like we don't have nothing to do with you because you cannot tell the truth, Esau. You can't. But you claim there's such thing as free will. Okay, if there's such thing as free will, stop lying. Stop murdering, stop stealing, stop lying about your plans. You can't because there's no such thing as free will. The Lord created you to be perfectly wicked. Let's get it. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own ways? See, there's no such thing as free will. The Lord created you to be perfectly wicked, a liar, a thief, a murderer. Those are your three uh, most well-known attributes. And I'm sure the world can agree. A genocidal nation, a lying nation, a thieving nation, the nation of Edom. Sirach chapter 27, verse 24, I have hated many things, but nothing like him. For the Lord Yahweh will hate him. Christians. Because y'all said the Lord is all love, love, love. Okay, he's going to show you some love. Especially you Jesus worshipers. He's going to show you some love. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? These dumbasses still think people believe their lies. Let's keep going. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well toward his going. You better question everything this man tells you. If not, you're going to end up dead real quick, trusting everything he says, everything he does. Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Let Saints get an advantage of us. We're not ignorant of his devices. All this Hollywood magic. Just to prove that you are the liar that the Bible says you are. Because you put, how much money you think they done put into trying to convince the world that they'd have been to the moon? They blow money on lies. But if they want to feed the hungry, oh, we ain't got no money. We got budgets, budget cuts and all that. But they put money behind lies and they put money behind death. You don't believe me? Look at all the money that went over to Ukraine versus the money that went to Maui. Prime example. Look at all the money that went toward the jab versus the amount of money that went toward feeding and sheltering the homeless, the veterans. You see what I'm saying? He ain't got no time for that. But he will cut you a blank check if you trying to promote death or lies. That's why he's unfit to rule. This man does not deal with reality. His reality consists of trying to get you to believe that he's the man. And if you go against that narrative, you're a terrorist. That's Esau evil. And if he's forced to deal with reality, he gets angry. So no, he's unfit to rule. And they use all these big words to try to convince you that he know what he's talking about. No, All those are confusion tactics. First Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. For it is written, he have taken the wise in their own craftiness by exposing y'all asses. Psalm chapter 31, verse 18. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the just. Yeah, the Lord about to shut up all these liars, all these scoffers, all these truth rejectors. Y'all finna get what y'all was created to get. Death and judgment. Psalm chapter 10, verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Psalm chapter 52, verse 3. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness a lie. You sad, bro. You sad. This is probably why the world believes them, because of the fact that they control the media, they control narratives, and any truth that comes out, they suppress it. They punish people that put out the truth, but they reward liars. Psalm chapter 73, verse 9. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. That media, they put it on the news. 90% of you Babylonians will believe it. We can get a couple more and close because this man is exposed. He's being exposed more and more and more daily. That's why the other nations, even citizens, are drawn away from this man because he cannot be trusted. A desperate man is a dangerous man. He's also unpredictable because he don't want to go into slavery. But you playing right into the Lord's hand, dummy. Yep, we gone close on this. Point's been made. We told y'all this man never been to the moon. Now his own people are telling you he never went to the moon. So when are y'all gonna wise up and start believing this Bible? When the missiles are inbound to tie this place up, that's when you want to start believing in this book. That's when you want to start believing in the Father, Yahweh Shah, and the Son. Y'all running out of time, bro. Y'all playing. Job chapter 30, verse 8. They were children of fools, children of base men. They were vile in the earth. What they don't lie about. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. That's why he's called the man of no integrity. He just ain't right. This man does not feel bad about lying to you whatsoever. He sleep like a baby at night after he spent the whole day lying. It doesn't bother him. It's natural to him because that's what the Lord created him to do. We can close out on this one. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. Thus said the Lord, cursed be the man that trusted in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord your house. That goes for the moon landing, don't believe it. That goes for the jabs, don't believe it. That goes for everything this man has promised you. Peace and safety, don't believe it. Because this Bible says the opposite is about to come. War, destruction, chaos, judgment, death, all of that is coming down the pipe. And you believe Esau lies you want to, that's on you. You can't say you were not wounded. Call Lord Lava Height now with the Howard by Shim Yahweh Shah, Hamashiach, wa Malaki, by Shim Howard Kakodash, Rock Thumb, the water by Baba, Kwam Yasharak, Shalom.